What's up, guys? So the other day I received a comment on my Minecraft SR-25 video asking if I was going to do or could do a video on the split gearbox design itself. So I need to do a little bit of maintenance on this. So I'm just going to do a brief show you guys how the split system works, and then open it up, show you the inside, and then that'll essentially conduct this video or conclude this video. First off, I want to talk about the motor. I wanted to pick up a T238 motor. Could not find any in stock at the time. And on Amazon, I happened to find this ADV brushless motor. It's a 33K motor, and so far has done really well. Meshed with the 130 spring and the SHS 19 tooth 18 to 1 gear set that is the driving force of this gearbox. So getting into the retro split gearbox itself, looks like a normal gearbox until that pin falls out, and then it will quite literally just split straight in half. So if this was still in the lower receiver of the gun, it would be held in with the rear body pin. And if you needed to get the upper off, all you would need to do is back out the buffer tube screw. So you're going to back the buffer tube off, not all the way, just enough that you can, this screw here, just enough that it is backed out of the top here where it locks into the spring guide. And then obviously have the upper receiver off, and this will come out in your hand. To get the spring guide out, it is a QC spring guide. You're just going to use your, let's see, what is this, a 9/16? 5/16 Allen head. And then it just locks right in there. Give it a turn, and it'll pull it straight out. So if you wanted to swap springs, you could do that. Like I said, you just pop the upper off of your SR-25, or if you're using a standard V2, pop the upper off of your M4, pull out the spring guide, put it in, back in after you've swapped your springs, and you're good to go. If you wanted to do a quick piston change on this, say you happen to strip one, once you take the spring guide out, you're just going to back out all these screws here. Pull it up. It is seated in that piston head. Or cylinder head, my bad. Let's see. There we go. A little bit of leverage works every time. I'm trying to yank this entire thing apart. There we go. So after getting your top half off, just like any regular gearbox, you have your piston, screws, your piston, your compression system here, and then your bottom half of your gearbox. For this build, I have an ASG Ultimate piston head. This is a retro arms 19 tooth piston. It has the next to last tooth removed, and then the tooth here filed down for your AOE. This spacer actually does come included with it to help make up the extra room for the elongated cylinder. I have the Retro Arms SR-25 tappet, and then for the tappet spring, I have a Real Deal Airsoft super tappet spring. That way I don't get that mid-cap syndrome. For the air nozzle, this is an SR-25 specific air nozzle from FPS Ergol. It's made in Italy. And then the cylinder head here is just a standard V2 cylinder head with double O-ring. And that is what I'm using compression wise. For the lower portion of the gearbox, I have FLT bushings, a gate aster, and then the quantum trigger specifically for the gate aster. And then for shims wise, I'm using Aztec. So the Aztec shims are specifically designed to where they have laser engraved on them their thickness. So it really makes shimming easy. A lot of shims, like they're a set thickness, right? However, they don't say that they're that set thickness on the shim. So if you get your shims mixed up, you're kind of spitballing like, oh, this one looks like a 0.5, right? Or a 0.15 or a 0.1. You're assuming, unless you have calipers. These guys actually have them laser engraved on, so you can set your shimming like, oh, I need, you know, a 0.4 is too much. However, I can mix a 0.2 to 0.15 to get a 0.35, and boom, I have the perfect height for my gears. Oh, forgot retro arms selector plate, specifically for the retro arms V2 gearbox shell. Going retro arms with the tappet plate and all that has proven to be really nice because it is CNC'd specifically to go with retro arms as gearbox shells, so it's super smooth. This gun cycles fantastically. I think I'm using a random as hell anti-reversal latch because that's the only other part I have not talked about in this thing. So yeah, that's gonna conclude this video. For the guy that requested this, I hope this answers some questions about whatever it was you needed answered. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Have a great day.